In the beginning there was silence, a silence so vast, so heavy, that even the stars seemed to tremble within it. And from that silence came the voice that shaped eternity, the same voice that spoke light into the void, that breathed life into dust. But just as there was a beginning, there shall come an end. Not the end of light, but the end of illusion. Not the end of existence, but the end of deception. For every cycle that begins in creation must one day close in revelation. And that day is closer than most dare to believe. The scriptures have whispered of it since the dawn of time. Ancient prophets saw it in dreams, mystics encoded it in symbols, and sages warned of it in stories that echoed through the generations. They spoke of a day when the heavens would roll back like a scroll, when the earth would shake, and when all that is hidden would be revealed. The day of judgment, the moment when time itself bends to eternity's decree, a day not marked by clocks but by the heartbeat of the universe reaching its final note. And yet, humanity moves through life as though time were endless, as though the clock of destiny were not already ticking in the background of existence. But what if the countdown has already begun? What if the signs written across the sky, the tremors beneath the earth, and the unrest within the human heart are all part of the same divine tapestry, a message woven in both chaos and beauty? The ancients believed that the universe itself is alive, a living creation bound to its creator. When the creator moves, creation responds. The stars align in patterns unseen by mortal eyes. The oceans churn in anticipation. And deep within the soul of every being, there is a knowing, a whisper that says, the end approaches. But the next part will surprise you even more, for the end was never meant to be destruction alone. It was meant to be unveiling apocalypse, from the old word meaning to reveal. The day of judgment is not merely wrath, it is truth unmasked. It is the moment when all that was false is burned away by the purity of divine light, leaving only what was eternal from the beginning. The mountains will melt like wax before the fire of holiness. The heavens will shake, not in terror, but in awe. And the souls of the righteous and the wicked alike will stand in a great unveiling. For nothing can hide from the gaze that sees all, not the secret thoughts of kings, not the quiet kindness of the forgotten. All shall be weighed on scales beyond measure. The smallest act of love, the briefest whisper of faith, will shine brighter than the sun on that day. But the next revelation uncovers a secret very few people know. The concept of judgment is not bound to religion alone. It resonates even in the structure of the cosmos. Every particle, every star, follows laws written into reality's code. When those laws are broken, imbalance arises. And what is imbalance if not judgment waiting to unfold? The end times, then, are not merely punishment. They are the rebalancing of all that has gone astray since the dawn of man. For millennia, seers and astronomers alike have looked to the skies for signs. Solar eclipses that darken the world, comets that blaze like swords, constellations shifting with divine geometry, each event echoing a greater truth, that the heavens are a canvas upon which destiny writes its message. Ancient texts called it the shaking of the powers of heaven. Modern science calls it cosmic alignment. Yet both speak of a moment when everything converges, spirit, matter, and time. What comes next may change how humanity sees the sky forever. The stars, those eternal sentinels of light, are not merely distant suns, they are reminders. For even they, in their brilliance, will one day fade. The light that has guided sailors and shepherds alike for generations will dim. And in that great silence, another light will rise not from the heavens above, but from within the throne itself. For from the center of all creation comes the light of judgment, pure, unfiltered, eternal. And in that moment every soul shall remember. The lives lived, the words spoken, the choices made, all shall return like echoes in eternity. For judgment is not the hand of a tyrant, but the mirror of truth. It reflects exactly what is, without distortion. The deceitful shall see their own deceit, the merciful their mercy, and the humble their grace. Heaven and hell are not merely destinations, they are states of being revealed when the veil is lifted. But there is a deeper mystery still, a truth hidden beneath ages of interpretation and fear. The final judgment is not about destruction, but restoration. For creation was never meant to remain broken. Every storm, every tear, every pain endured carries a fragment of divine purpose. On that day, the fragments will return to their source. The righteous will shine as though lit from within, and peace, a peace beyond comprehension, will settle over all things that endured with faith. Yet the scriptures warn of two paths that will stand before creation. The first, a river of light, flowing toward the eternal presence. The second, a pit of darkness, not made by God, but by separation from Him. The fire that burns there is not made of flames, but of regret, of longing for a light that can no longer be reached. That is the true essence of hell, not punishment imposed, but distance chosen. And still, the question remains, when will this day come? Some believe it will arrive in an instant, the sky torn open, the trumpet sounding from beyond the stars. Others see it as unfolding even now, through wars, through plagues, through the unraveling of truth in a world that no longer knows right from wrong. Perhaps both are true. Perhaps the end is not one single event, but the final crescendo of a symphony that began long ago. The music grows louder, and soon the final note will sound. But the next part will surprise you even more. For the signs are not only written in the heavens or the earth, they are written in the human spirit. Every act of kindness pushes back the darkness. Every moment of compassion shines like a beacon across the unseen realm. The judgment to come is not only for what was done, but for what was loved, for what was healed, for what was forgiven. As the final dawn approaches, the world will tremble under its own weight of choices. Nature itself will cry out, seas will rise, winds will howl, and the hearts of men will grow cold. But those who hold the light, those who remain faithful when the world falls silent, will find themselves lifted by unseen hands. For even as the world ends, heaven begins. The two are not separate but connected by the same thread of divine will. And so, the great question echoes across eternity. What will remain when the fire passes through? For fire purifies as much as it consumes. Gold gleams brighter after the flames, so it will be with the souls that endure the refining of truth. Heaven is not the reward of the perfect, but the home of the purified, and hell the echo of those who refused the light, choosing instead to dwell in their own shadow. But this is not the end of the mystery. The next revelation unveils a truth that even angels ponder, that the day of judgment is not only the reckoning of humanity, but the restoration of creation itself. For the stars themselves await redemption, the trees groan for renewal, and every atom longs to return to its divine harmony. When the last trumpet sounds, the universe will breathe again, and every tear that ever fell will be gathered like dew upon the morning of eternity. And now, to those who still listen, remember this. Every act of good, every prayer, every word of truth spreads light through the unseen world. It pushes back despair, it strengthens the weary, and it prepares the world for the dawn to come. If this message stirs something within your heart, let it move you to action. Spread the light, share the word, and let faith ripple across the digital heavens. Click like, subscribe, and comment your short prayer below. For each prayer spoken here is a spark that may ignite another soul in darkness. Together, we become part of the great awakening, a chorus of hope echoing through time, reaching those who need blessing the most. And as the story continues beyond this moment, beyond this world, remember, the end is not the end. It is the unveiling of eternity, but the end is not the end. It is the unveiling of eternity. For just as the dusk gives birth to dawn, so too shall death give birth to life again. In the silence that follows the final trumpet, there shall come a great stirring, a movement not of wind or storm, but of souls awakening from the sleep of ages. From every corner of the earth, from the depths of the seas, from forgotten graves and scattered ashes, the breath of God will return to his creation. And the earth, long burdened by sorrow, will release its dead to the light. Imagine the stillness of that hour, the air trembling with divine energy, the mountains bowing low, the rivers flowing backward as the veil between worlds is lifted. The prophets called it the resurrection of the just and the unjust. Science cannot measure it, for it belongs to dimensions beyond the reach of time. Every molecule, every spark of life will answer the voice that once said, "Let there be light." And again, there will be light not of the sun, but of the eternal presence, illuminating every soul in truth. But the next part will surprise you even more. For judgment does not come as thunder, but as revelation. Each soul will see itself perfectly clearly, without veil or excuse. The proud will see their pride as fire, the humble will see their faith as gold. The deeds of nations, the whispers of hearts, the forgotten tears, all will be laid bare before the throne of radiance. And there will be silence, for no tongue can lie in the light of perfect truth. The book of life will open its pages, filled not with ink, but with memory. Every act of mercy glows like a star upon its pages. Every cruelty, every betrayal, every selfish choice, dark stains that cannot hide from divine sight. Yet even then, mercy will stand beside justice, for the one who judges is also the one who forgives. This, the ancients said, is the greatest paradox of eternity, that judgment and love are not opposites, but two sides of the same flame. And as the assembly of souls gathers before the eternal seat, there shall be a division not of nations, but of light and shadow. The pure will move toward the brilliance that calls them home. The lost, unable to bear the light, will turn away into the darkness of their own making. For darkness is not a place, it is the absence of truth. Hell, then, is not a chamber beneath the earth, but the endless echo of a soul that chose to remain apart from its source. What comes next may change how you see the end forever. For beyond the final judgment lies the birth of a new reality, a new heaven, and a new earth. The old will pass away, not in destruction, but in transformation. The sea of chaos will give way to the river of life, clear as crystal, flowing from the heart of creation. Trees will grow, whose leaves are for the healing of nations. The stars will sing once more, and their music will fill the fabric of existence with peace unbroken. The universe itself will be reborn. Galaxies will realign in sacred geometry, pulsing with divine harmony. The light that once scattered will converge again into unity, great cosmic symphony, resonating with the voice of its creator. And time, as it was once known, will dissolve into eternity, no more yesterday, no more tomorrow, only the everlasting now. But the next revelation uncovers a secret few have dared to speak. The end times, as foretold by prophets and sages, are not merely a prophecy of destruction, they are a mirror of the soul of humanity. When corruption fills the earth, when truth becomes rare as gold, when love grows cold, these are not signs from outside, but reflections of within. The world ends, not because heaven decrees it, but because the human heart forgets its origin. The apocalypse begins in the spirit, long before it appears in the sky. And so, the cosmic battle between light and darkness is not fought with swords or fire, but with truth and deception. Each thought, each act, each heartbeat adds weight to one side or the other. Angels watch, not as spectators, but as witnesses to a drama older than time, a story of rebellion, redemption, and return. The war in heaven continues in the hearts of men until the day the last soul chooses light or shadow forever. Yet even in the final moments, mercy whispers, for the Creator does not delight in destruction. The fire that purges the world is the same fire that refines gold. It burns not to consume, but to cleanse. And in that purging, the souls that yield will emerge radiant, stripped of all deceit, ready to dwell in the presence of the infinite. The purified will walk in gardens not made of stone or soil, but of living light, where every leaf sings and every breath is worship. But the story does not end even there. For eternity is not static. Creation will continue to unfold, layer upon layer, revelation upon revelation. The redeemed will explore worlds beyond comprehension, realms of beauty no mortal eye has seen. Knowledge will deepen without end, and love will expand without limit. The very essence of existence will become a hymn to the one who spoke it into being. And still, the mystery deepens. For what of those who turned away, those whose hearts were hardened, whose spirits clung to pride and power? Are they lost forever? Some say yes, others, that the love of God never ceases its call. That even in the farthest shadows, a faint light flickers, whispering, "Return." Perhaps eternity itself holds room for mercy beyond understanding, a redemption written in the hidden corners of forever. Only the Creator knows, but the next part will surprise you even more. For before the final dawn, there will come a time of testing unlike any the world has seen. The last deception will rise not from the stars, but from the hearts of men. False saviors will appear, offering peace without truth, power without sacrifice. The nations will unite under a banner of their own making, seeking to build a heaven without God. But it will crumble, for no foundation stands unless it is laid in eternal stone. The earth will convulse, the skies will darken, and voices will cry out in confusion. Yet those who hold the flame of faith will not fear. They will know that the shaking is not destruction, but birth. For before every dawn, the night deepens. Before every resurrection, the grave grows still. And when all seems lost, the heavens will open once more, not in wrath, but in radiance. The Son of Man will appear, shining like lightning across the horizon of eternity. The nations will fall silent, and every eye will see. The trumpet will sound again, not in warning, but in welcome. The redeemed will rise, their faces reflecting the glory they once only dreamed of. And the words will echo through all creation. Behold, I make all things new. But even then, the journey continues. For eternity is not the end of the story, it is the beginning of the real one. Beyond judgment, beyond redemption, lies the eternal communion, the merging of creation with its Creator, the harmony that was always meant to be. There, no sun will rise, for the Lord Himself will be the light. No tears will fall, for sorrow will be a memory swallowed by joy. And no night will come, for the song of life will never cease. And still, the cosmos will whisper of the ages past, of the world that was, of the souls that were tested, of the faith that endured. Their story will become the foundation of the new creation, the testimony of light, triumphant over shadow. And across eternity, the redeemed will sing, not of fear or judgment, but of love unending. And so, as the vision widens beyond the edge of time, remember, every act of goodness now is a seed planted in eternity. Every word of truth spoken is a stone laid in the coming kingdom. Every prayer whispered in faith becomes part of the architecture of forever. The end times are not a threat. They are an invitation to awaken, to choose light, to live as if the dawn were already here. If this message touches your spirit, let it become action. Be the light in the darkness. Spread kindness, share truth, and lift others toward hope. For even now, unseen forces carry every act of faith into realms beyond the stars. Like ripples in a boundless sea, Your love travels farther than you know. Click like, subscribe, and share your short prayer in the comments below, not as ritual, but as witness. Each word spoken here spreads through the unseen, reaching those who dwell in silence, reminding them that light still lives and hope still burns. And so the voice fades, but the story does not end. For the day of judgment is not only the closing of time, it is the opening of eternity. The page turns, the heavens wait, and the next revelation is yet to come.